Jill, we're live. We're live, Jill. Well, she might be. Yes, she is. See, she's always right by my side. and you notice my seat is changed. These are the rear seats out of my Tahoe. the third set of seats. I don't need. I just have a bucket under each one that holds them up, and it's a lot better than that Chinese seat that I had. I bought it like a year and a half ago, and things totally fallen apart, all except for the wheel part that I rebuilt. Um, but there's a couple scrapbooks. Well, scrapbook 118. Oh, I gotta get my video going, huh? Let me see. Let me see if I can get a link for where do I at? There we go. Copy invite link. There we go here. Boom. Fast. That was fast mute. Only got a little bit of laugh on that. Paste. Yeah, I was watching old David. And then it's got that heart thing on there, so I gotta post something else. So it's like the last chat is sitting there and there's that heart. You can't click on the pin thing because the heart's sitting on top of the 3 dots that you need to click on, So you got to put move it up. There, now I can click on that and pin message there. Okay. Scrapbook 118. What can I do? I can put the mirror up. But let me tell you, you see something here? Well, anyhow, scrapbook 118 is Montana, December of 2014, Montana golden fish. Avalanche Lake was a fairy tale spot for me in the 1940s when I was young and could do anything. It was a few miles north and west of here. In 1959, a mountain fell and dammed the Madison River and formed Quake Lake. What are you doing? Get out of there. She's pulling corn dog wrapper out of the trash. Stay out of the trash, Jill. You got mustard on my hand. Okay. To reach Avalanche Lake, I had to climb about 3,000 feet over a 6-mile stretch. In one spot, the path was only 4 feet wide and had 700 foot tumbled down on the left. It was a scary place. And if my hat blew off, I'd never see that thing. The Forest Service said no one had ever went up there because the hike was too tough. My father warned that grizzlies ranged the area, and I was going, and where I was going, so I planned to carry a dead fish. If I met a bear, I'd throw the fish at him and run downhill. The grizzly's front legs are shorter than his hind legs, so I would have the advantage if it came to a race. Besides, my incentives would be greater than his. After 7 hours, I reached the lake and started fishing. The water was deep and cold. Cold, worth the cold. Remember that, cold. Several dozen huge golden trout slowly swished through the glassy water. To my disappointment, none of them wanted any fly in my vast repertoire of lures, not even a woolly worm. And that must be a picture of someone fishing on that same lake. Well, you don't have to be. You can put a picture up and say it's that lake. It doesn't matter. You'd have to go compare the rocks and mountains. It's the only way you can verify it's the same place is by the rocks and the trees. One of my most humbling deeds, and one that's most ideal. I idiosyncratic of my personality, idiosyncratic of my personality, synchronistic. I think that is, yeah, it is synchronicity with my, it's in synchronicity with his personality, I was trying to say, I think, is to be ignored by a beautiful fish. I didn't catch any, not even one, to throw a grizz if I met him on the down trail. On the down trail, okay. But remember, for him to get to the down trail, he first has to go up because he's down at a lake. He had to go up to get over and down to his lake, and then he has to get back. He has to go over and down the other side. So when you're going in the canyon down, you're going down the other side from below the Homer Brown. What, Jill? She's such a sweetheart. You're just a sweet dog, aren't you, Jill? Yeah. Uh-huh. There was a dog came by and visited. I didn't know if it was a coyote. I thought it looked like the neighbor's dog. Okay. The next day, while preparing to leave, I placed my Dr. Pepper under a rock in the lake to save it for next time. Next time. When's the next time he's going to go climbing over there? It's not going to be tomorrow or next week. It's the next time he comes. Okay. No need. And he always said, remember what you might find when you roll over a rock, right? So he put the Dr. Pepper under the rock to come back for another time. When is the other time? 10/24. 10/24 is only 2 months away. This is 8/24. 10/24 is October of 24. Okay. And the other story here, 188, scrapbook 188, is more cold liquids, like the cold Dr. Pepper, that's going to sit in this lake probably through the winter until the next year. You know, he never says if he went back and got that Dr. Pepper. But the reason there's 10/4 on the Dr. Pepper cap was that's when you needed your sugar high at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. Forrest just puts a little twist on it. It's subtle, it's similar, and it's a synchronicity because we also have 10 of 2024. 10/24 is October 24. That's just a couple months. There she is. You're such a cutie, Jill. You are. You are. You give me a kiss here. You lick my ear. Give me a wet willy. Give me a wet willy. Huh? You silly dog. Jill. Jill, what you doing? My son thinks that she's part fox because of her ears. And the grandkids, they all love her. Jack's, I don't know. Me and Jill went to the mailbox alone because we don't know where Jack was. I think he's got another girlfriend, and it's not the season for Jill. Like 10/24, he told you it's worth the cold because you got to wait until 10/24 to get your Dr. Pepper. How's that work? Oh, let me go back and see what everybody's saying. Anybody's saying anything? Nobody's saying nothing for watching. And who else is freaking streaming? Saturday. It's Friday night. It's like, oh, it's late. No, it's Friday night. They're out at the bar. How many watching? What's it say? How many watching? 5. Yeah. That's crazy how it's only 5, and so many people watch the people with no information. They're still trying to figure it out. They don't know what worth the cold is. You gotta wait until 10:24, and you get that cold Dr. Pepper or that ice cold beer that Dizzy Dean asked for. Dizzy Dean asked for an ice cold beer from Forrest Fenn. And do I need to finish that scrapbook before I go on? Let me see where I'm at. Okay. How much more is it? No, there's not much more. Okay. So I placed my Dr. Pepper under a rock in the lake to save it for next time. No need to haul it out. Zowie. Boy, when he got there the next time, wasn't that Dr. Pepper a treasure? Zowie. Zowie. Zoe? Zoe. That's when Zoe knows this date, 10/24. That's when I noticed the freshwater shrimp. It looked like hundred of them scurrying about. They were small, maybe a quarter-inch long, and their yellowish translucent color made them almost invisible. That had to be the answer. That's what the fish were feeding on. I could hardly wait to get home and make some flies that imitated the shrimp. Hmm. What do you call them? Albino woolly worms? albino shrimp, maybe. Um, Several weeks later, I I took Donnie with me to the lake. I wanted to apply my fishing genius and show those rude trout who was their better. So he doesn't say what happened, what it got for fish, but the last lemon, he's got a poem at the end of this is, oh, somewhere near a placid mountain meadow, a mariposa lily blooms its yellow best. And on the hills and in the valleys mellow, the chirpy plover gathers grasses for her nest. But on a lake that ties the sportsman's skills, he went to cast his line and catch a trout. Alone he stood to test the willy flies. Will, and again the mighty fisherman struck out. So there, he told you what happened with his new flies. Okay, so that's the end of scrapbook 188. I guess he hiked over to Earthquake Lake, where Avalanche Lake. Okay, and then he had scrapbook 188, which is June of 2018. That's after he knew I had the Model A cowl, the Blaze. The cowl was blazing in the sun in the middle of the meadow. That was Skippy's car. And just to piss off K-Pro, in the final statement, he put the hose on Skippy's car. That was to piss off K-Pro, not Koski. Kasky. No, it wasn't Kasky. It was Koski. It was K-Pro that he was pissing off. You didn't catch is he's playing on words. Playing on words, man. It was piss off K-Pro because when he put the hose on the Blaze, what do you do with a fire? You put a hose on it to put the fire out. He was telling you that Skippy's car was the Blaze. The guy that got Skippy's car and brought it to the 2017 Bembury, he's the winner. That's the guy who found the Blaze. The Blaze was broken. It was shot. The back half was missing. It was totally broken. It was only the cowl of the car was there. It was so shot. It was destroyed. And why did the car stop there? Well, it probably overheated. Warm water halted it. And he was brave to lasso that buffalo and go riding in that car. And the seat cushion springs were right there at the creek. Got it on video when I got the car. And probably somebody following me that saw me in the video showing the car and the springs went up there and got the springs. I have an idea. There's two suspects who went and took the springs, but those are people that were following me. Watch my old videos, hiking up the mountain, about giving myself a heart attack climbing up them hills. I mean, and then I've been to Earthquake Lake, drove by it, and it is not 2,000 feet to the top of that hill. It might be 1,200, or it's not 3,000 feet like Forrest was saying. You know, if one thing, you drive right past Earthquake Lake. And if you went over there, yeah, it ain't 3,000 feet. But Wolf Creek Pass is about 3,009. It's 3 to 4,000 feet from like Treasure Falls up to the pass. And then there's a hill you can go up, and it's called Lobo Mountain or Lobo Overlook. And that's because it's a wolf. Lobo is wolf overlook, and it's Wolf Creek. And imagine in just over 5 miles, like 5.2 miles, you go almost 4,000 feet in climb. So that creek, you are not going to paddle up that creek if it's dropping 4,000 feet in 5 miles. No way you're paddling up that creek. And it's no place for the meek. Just ask Little Red Riding Hood and Grandma. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The meek. And Moses was the meekest man on earth in the Bible. All these things all point to the same thing. Double blazes. Double blazes. And then Kiwi wanted to see my Alexander coin. I've shown it so many times. There's Alexander. And Athena is on the back with the owl. And I think the scale and the olive branch and all that stuff. So when you think of double omegas, that's double alphas. Alexander is an A and Athena is an A. AA. And I bought it at Pandora's Box jewelry store in Athens, Greece. So yeah, it's an old ancient bronze coin. There's a gold, real light gold, but it's a bronze coin. They had more bronze coins back then. So scrapbook 188, June of 2018, has Dizzy Dean on the cover of Time magazine. Jerome Herman Dean. Let's see, just zoom in to make it easier for me to read. I don't have a share screen with this, so you just have put up. If you got the scrapbook, you can read it. I'm reading it. In 1955, I was at the Texas Open golf tournament in San Antonio, walking on my way to some place when I heard a booming voice. Hey, kid, got any cold beer around here? Worth the cold, right? I stopped and looked about. There were lots of people milling, but none of them were paying attention to me. So I thought it must have been an aberration. Aberrations on the edges? Remember he was saying that? The aberrations, because cold beer, you drink a 6-pack when you find it. Dizzy Dean has to do with it's over in 27. He was number 17. It was over in 2017, February 2017. The arm, okay. Hey, feller, I'm up here, the voice bellowed. I was standing beside a ladder that climbed straight up about 10 feet to a platform where I saw a, a, wi- a wildly wave at me. Wildly wave at me. So some arm did. Hey, think you could find a couple of cold ones somewhere? The arm belonged to Dizzy Dean, and I recognized his beaming face right off. He played for several teams, including the St. Louis Cardinals, and was the last pitcher in the National League to win 30 games in one season. He was one of my all-time favorite baseball heroes, along with the ageless Satchel Paige, who famously said, "How old would I be if I didn't know how old I was?" Maybe 3. uh, about 10 minutes later, I climbed the ladder holding the 6-pack of Jack's beer. Jack's beer, right there. Jack's beer. And this is 2018. He's got Jack's beer in there and a Dr. Pepper. My cost was about $2, but I didn't care because this was Dizzy Dean. I was thrilled even more when I shook hands with Sammy Baugh. Dizzy was commenting on the radio between sips and talking with me during commercials and more sips. This was Sunday afternoon, and as the tournament wound down, Dizzy finished off the last jacks, and my bottle of soda was almost done. He said goodbye, and I climbed down the ladder, expecting to see a bunch of photographers recording me and Disney. They weren't there weren't any, but it was an experience I enjoyed for the last 63 years. A personal note: I have been criticized for the way I write and use words. I say too much, mix verb tenses, use commas wrong, and I can't spell. I just read through my story about Dizzy Dean and removed all the commas. I feel so good, I may just go get myself another Dr. Pepper. 1024. It's coming up real soon. Let me turn on this light. Get some more light on the 1024. There. That'll do it. Oh, how did that happen? I thought the 1024 was on that side of my head. It is. Oh, that's the bright light up there. Oh, that light did give a little more, huh? Yeah, see? Move the fan out. The fan's blocking that light. Put Oh, no. There. There, it gets more light on the Dr. Pepper sign. 1024. That's the Dr. Pepper clue. Bottle caps. The bottle caps. That's when we're going to cap off the chase. 1024. Yeah. Okay. Maybe look at the chat again. I ain't been looking at it. Grizzly toe is cooler. Grizzly toe. I think you're talking about camel toe, Gio. Grizzly toe. Oh, you're talking about Cynthia. That wasn't a camel toe. That was a grizzly toe. It was really hairy. Did she think she was going to get the treasure by showing that and putting that picture online? Jesus. Some people do anything. But Forrest knew there would be women trying to trade their pute for a better chance, for a big hint at getting the treasure. He'll show me the way to it if I do this. It's like, no, Forrest knew better than that. You know, in the military, it's a very old saying. I knew it when I was a kid. It was loose tits sink ships. And you think of his treasure hunt as his ship. I mean, all he needs is some, you know, man, you know, and what was he doing? If in that case, what if he was? Who was that guy that went through the windows? Uh, Casanova, right? If it's Casanova, what better than full page color advertising like a treasure hunt to get things going? Yeah, these two seats. This is a bench. It's like the rear bench seat. It's a third row of seats. Well, mine has 2 rows of bucket seats, and then the one bench seat all the way. This is the bench seat out of the back. But it's got 3 seat belts on it, so you can put 3 people on here. And all I need to do is make a steel frame with tubes that are the same size as the rails that are in the car, and have 4 legs on it. But you know, just have an iron guy weld them with the rails the right diameter and the right distance apart and the right length to put both seats on the one, and then it's like a couch that I can move around with legs. But I need to do some. I got to make this more comfortable. I'm like cramped. It's hard to squeeze in between the desk and the chair, and there's got to be a lot more comfortable. That's why I wanted to get a house and be in regular furniture. RV furniture ain't that good. They should have it, you know, pick whatever couch you want from the, you know, because yeah, all you need is a certain size. They can make deals with certain furniture manufacturers to make a couch this size that fits RV, and so people can pick whatever they want instead of a clumpy stapled together piece of crap. Sometimes get something that's screwed together instead of stapled together. Sixo, Joe, I gave you toe bone. Oh, see, Joe, this toe bone right here. This little toe bone here. This little piggy went to Netherlands. Is that how it went? And then Jim Bridger killed the big bear and left little piggy on the hillside. I got a rock here too. I don't have any way to smelt that down. I don't know how to separate the things in it. Oh, I guess you got to crush it, and then you pan the gold out of it, and then you probably got to use cyanide and all kinds of shit with it, right? Stuff I don't really want to. No, I know. Yeah, I need a couple of 20-foot skids to build a 12-foot by 20-foot portable building on. So yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow, early evening. Yeah, I seen what's his name put up a thing about Rick Nowak catching on to he had a thing on John Teeter in the 177th Temporal Renaissance unit in the future. It's like you ever look up that Ketchum, uh, James Ketchum, I think it was. And there's this story. He's a time traveler, and they had pictures of him with all these expeditions and with all these famous people in all these different times. And he's the same age in all these pictures, you know, centuries apart and stuff. He was at the Revolution, and as Forrest Fenn, maybe a time traveler. Could you imagine if Forrest Fenn was a time traveler? Did he go back to Concord Bridge and watch the start of the revolution? Did he? Wow, that'd be a trip, you know? Time traveler, 1024. I'll get back on the chat over here. Yeah, when you come up with new, it's like until you figure out who the fuck's talking to you with the new pseudonym. um, you know, he knows who I am. No, I don't, but I do now. Yeah, the yeah, that bone. Yep, I got alligator toe on there too. So the alligator toe's up at that end. I had to tell my StreamYard to not mirror to so that I had the 1024 looking correct, not backwards. No mirror image. So if I put something up, I want it to be straight on the screen. Whew. Just cleared this one. These are for oil, and these are for the wax or the what do they call it? The cream or the you know the honeys. It's real thick and but that comes in the little and so you can reload this. This gets a new cartridge each time, but this you just take this apart, open it up. See, this comes off, and then this cap comes off here, and then you put the stuff inside there, and this is a shield because it gets hot underneath inside there, and there's little holes for the air to go in. Air goes in down here in that little tiny hole and it comes out of it just vaporizes and you get the mist from it. But because this is the cheapest way to go, about $6 a gram. This about $20 a gram, but it's easier and cleaner, and this gets real messy. I left the thing on for like 3 minutes before I noticed it was still on, and it was blazing hot. Yeah, woo, push the button, turn it off. You know, because it was on the hot. It was on the red setting, and all the oil had come out and leaked out of the hole and was streaming down the side of it. And as well, it's cleaned out now after I turned it off and let it cool off, and then I took it all apart and cleaned it all with 90% alcohol, and you could take the whole heater and cartridge part off, the refillable part off, and soak it in rubbing alcohol that cleans it. And boop, and it's all clean and new. But then before you put more in there, you got to burn off any alcohol that's remaining on any of that wood alcohol that's still in there. So without the cap on, without the top thing on it and all that, you just hit the thing and it'll smoke a little bit. And once it stops smoking, it's burned the alcohol off, and then it's good. You load it up. But you see, this one, I got a soldering iron, cordless soldering iron battery on it. And so you push it like three times to get it on the, is it blue setting? Or green. I think it goes green at first, and then it goes blue, and then it goes red. And blue's medium, red's high. So I just, yeah, it goes green. Always make sure and turn it off after that red one, or you might start a fire. Then it's off and you can store it. And the nice thing, these soldering iron ones, they have a USB-C connector on them that you can have plugged in while you're using it. Yeah, buy Dr. Pepper too. and I have because I got an idea, because these soldering iron things, they come with you can take the cartridge off and you put the soldering iron tip on there, right? And then you put it on there and you red button this. But Josh Jordan, if you're watching, okay, this is an idea, right? And it should do really good, because like a bong, okay, you have a glass bong like that maybe you have a tube thing, the glass thing that goes where you maybe put the wax inside the bottom bowl of the bong like thing, and then you have a leather ring that you can insert the soldering iron tip with the battery into the bottom of the bong like thing that has the wax. And so you put in this soldering iron tip into the wax, and then you push the buttons to turn on your thing, and it vaporizes it in the ball of this thing. And then when it's done, you pull it out if you want for a carburetor. You just pull it out or whatever, turn it off, or you can have a carburetor hole on it, and but yeah, these things will is take this off. You put the soldering iron tip on instead. See, and you got the soldering iron tip. So if you have it in the bottom of the bottle, into your wax or jelly or whatever you want to call it, and you turn the heat on it, it should vaporize inside your glass thing without having a butane lighter, breathing butane fumes and stuff. Just have the soldering iron tip vaporize it. Or you could even have one that actually has a heater coil on the end instead. One thing, when I heated that one, to get this thing to work on this battery, I had to put a little piece of wire on top of the contact on the battery, and then make sure that this came down square on that, and it didn't short out and stuff. And the wire was perfectly coiled right around the center of where the cartridge and the battery meet. But when I left it on the hot for a while, that little coil wire welded to the battery part. So I don't have to worry about it coming loose because I first put it on there, just stuck on there with the oil of the THC. we lost a it certainly wasn't a deadhead. More of my brother. Rocks. Rick is a great guy. A rat hid that bone. Oh, so yeah? Wow. Rat. Rick is a great guy. You shouldn't call your friends rats. We have good friends. Rick. Trying to think of what Rick. Oh. Yeah, that's and I got these. I bought these dowels that I was going to make more peace pipes like the one I have, but I only bought 3/4 inch diameter and I need 1 inch diameter. For this size battery, I need a 1 inch diameter because this is so big. It doesn't leave enough dowel. But I could 3D print something that could be that thick with plastic. We would do the same thing. And I could 3D print parts into it for the button even. Yeah. I'm clever. Yeah. Oh, what happened there? Oh. How come I hate that. My stream had paused. Don't pause that. I don't know why that screen kept pausing. I ain't seen nobody joining. Jason said he was going to call later. He could come join in. I don't know if he's working. He might be milking the cows or chasing the ducks. I don't know. You know, that farm boy. He's been smoking that ditchweed out there in Iowa. He's been smoking that Iowa ditchweed. You know what that'll do to you? The Dr. Pepper 1024, 1024. It's worth the cold. You got to wait till 1024. That's a possibility. The other ones, not till April of 25. 4/25. 4/19/25. So yeah, that's a. Oh, hey, is that another? Is that like my new gong that goes with my drums? Is it? Let's see. We got. Money. They want money. That's what that song does, right? They bang it on a tin. That's my new instrument. Got all kinds of these things around here. Even got a flute up here, right behind the drum, right here. Oh no, that's my. But the flute is in there somewhere behind Moses. You see, there is Moses right there on top of my finger. put them on top of my finger. That's Moses. 6. 6. 6 is my number this year. I'm 6'6". Good thing I'm not 666. You have to go to that other guy. I'll try another toke on this thing. The other thing with this, you have to keep opening it up, and they give you a little thing, a little spoon thing. So you got to open it up, and you got to push the wax back down onto the burner because the burner burns it off, and then it's not close enough to the burner to the vape coil to vaporize. So you have to push it down into the vape coil and try again. And I think what the little holes, these little holes in here, that the air comes in and it blows it up. And so it's not only burning it off, but when you're drawing the air through it, it's pulling the oils up to the top. So sometimes it works to tap it. But somebody was saying, I think it was one of the other searchers, that they can't vape. And it's like, it was tough for me at first, but after a week, I was fine with it because it just takes getting used to. When you smoke the plant, 75% of what you're smoking is just trash plant material. When you smoke this, it's 75% of the so-called intoxicant. No, it's not really it's more of a sedative. It's more of a laughing gas. It's like super duper nitrous oxide. But this thing, I only put the spoon part into the oil stuff, and I never get it on the main part of the stick. And then I have a battery on the metal rail up here, and I just have it stick the end of it, and it hangs off that battery on the ceiling. And it stays there perfectly. It's on a neodymium, holds that little steel spoon pretty good. But yeah, the wax will all melt down into here, and they could have done a better design. I can engineer a better one. Hey, Selena. Oh yeah, I gotta tell you about, who's been sending me messenger messages, and they have 48,000 or something friends or followers. Is Sandra Bullock been messaging me, and she's posting on her Facebook that she's looking for her lover. I'm like, and she's been messaging me and trying to get me to Skype her and stuff. And it's like, yeah, everybody's, oh, it's not really her. It's not really, seems so much, Can you send me your, we got a live Skype so I can verify that you really are who you say you are. But then I don't know if these hackers and stuff, they give you the Skype address that also gives them access to your stuff, So I got to do that with a device that's not on any other device. only log into Microsoft because that's what Skype is, Microsoft. And Microsoft is one of the things, Bill Gates went to Epstein Island. So how can if Bill Gates was on Epstein Island, how can you trust Skype? Yeah, they're traffickers, aren't right? But more likely it's some. Why would a celebrity be catfishing you? Why would Sandra Bullock be catfishing me? And so I was chatting with Tommy Shaw from Styx. And it was the same type of, this is his official page, and what songs do you like of mine and stuff. How long you been, Sandra's how long you been a fan of mine, and instead of 93, back before the Bus movie. But I was like, is it really Sandra Bullock? It's really Sandra Bullock, yeah. I should say, if you're really Sandra, just call me. Here's my number. Because, calling me on the phone ain't going to give her access to nothing. Really, it's just like, why do I need a Skype or why do I need some coded thing to chat with you? Just call me on the phone. I'll just give her my my Google number. Yeah, it was. See, I packed it in, and that time it worked. Woo. Just took my heart monitor off yesterday. I got to put it in the envelope and mail it to the VA. Woo. Look what they make it look like. This is the heart monitor. They had it on me like right here. And if there was something happen, I had pushed the button. Only had something weird happen one time, like 1:00 Monday. Because mostly what it was because when I was in emergency, the monitor was saying my heart was jumping up to 197 beats a minute. Going from 85 to 197. And then it slowly dropped back down to 85. And then 5 minutes later, boom, back to 197. It was like, what's doing that? And I tell them it's the nerves in my neck doing that. But they never listen to you. The nerves in your neck. Oh, yeah, they do. I was just watching a thing they were analyzing. I watch these videos where they got the criminal and they're interrogating them and stuff. And when they putting their hand on their necks, on their vagus, it slows the heart rate down and stuff, So yeah, those nerves in your neck do affect your heart rate, especially if you get pinched. It's all going. It's like having a short circuit. Get a lot more sparks. Oh, hi, hi, hi. Hi, hi, hi. And a song, Frank Zappa song, Billy the Mountain, was in Gorman, California. Billy was a mountain, and the woman, she was a tree. It's like, God, this is so Forrest Fenn. Under a big tree. But Billy would throw rocks because Billy was a mountain and he'd throw rocks down on the highway. And it's like a 45-minute Frank Zappa song. And the lyrics are like 20 pages to Billy the Mountain. And the moral of the story was don't fuck with Billy. But Billy the Mountain is in Gorman, California. Yeah, it was great. That's so great. I don't know if these headrests come. Look at that headrest. Like it's hardly, at it's below my shoulder. So it's going to need to extend at least up here for my head to hit it, That's not a headrest. That's more for my back. I'd break my neck if I went backward on that. But see, I can even sit here and put on the seatbelt. I can wear my seatbelt, and now I feel that the room is safe. Thank you, moderators, for protecting the room from impact. Now I just need an airbag. Yeah, it's a real seatbelt. What was I looking at right there? This was a rock I found out in the driveway. Yeah, it just it's pretty. Just piece of quartz with some red, and it's nice and smooth. It just needs a polish. The rocks here on my land, they've been through the rock tumber all except for the final glaze, because they're nice and smooth. So you don't need to do the other rock tumbler thing to them. Be like this, like Al Capone. They gave Donald Trump more indictments than Al Capone. Al Capone actually killed people, right? Yeah. I like your elephant. It's not an elephant. It's a mammoth. You can tell by the ears. Forrest, I gave Forrest one. Yeah, it's the matching mammoth. I got one on my other hat too. I had one on my hat I lost. So somebody got a hat and a mammoth and a togo feather and everything. But I put the seed beads on this one. It had a leather strap, but I like the seed bead with the two feathers. Ooh, this is a good flavor. It's like ice cream cake or something. And I made my I got this in the mail. After I've been driving my car, after I've been driving my Tahoe for 3 weeks, I get this in the mail. Dear William, thank you for your application for a loan. We are unable to offer you credit on the terms that you requested for the following reasons. Unable to process due to incomplete application. I've been driving it for 3 weeks, man. Come on. I called them up and it's like, I was already my loan was already done before I went to the dealer. The dealer made me fill out another application. It's like, I'm already done. The bank's giving you the letter of credit and everything. Why do I need to fill out another loan application? Oh, it says it's really, they needed one on file. They didn't need to run it. The bank didn't need to run it. But I got one of these letters from from the credit union I got the loan with and another credit union. And it was totally unnecessary to do that stuff because until I called the bank, it's like, the fuck, man, am I waiting for a fucking tow truck to show up and try and take my nice little Tahoe? I got a fife in here somewhere. Right here, I got the Civil War fife. This is from the Civil War. You see, it's got where it's right there. It's got the eagle and stuff engraved. Right, it says U.S. on there. It says U.S. and it has the eagle on there. It's a little tin. It's like a chrome plated tin, but it's from the Civil War. Yeah. You gotta get your fingers on the holes. I can't play it, but yeah, it's about like the flute thing I got up here too. It's about the same type. But that one up there, the one behind the picture, is like an elf flute. Yeah, he had a Dr. Pepper, a cold Dr. Pepper, and cold beer. The Dr. Pepper and the beer are worth the cold. That's what I gotta do. Right at the end of the season, go up there and put a 6-pack in the river, in the creek, and leave it there and go back the next year and drink it. Mm. I got 3 more of these. I got 4 of these altogether. I got three others still in bubble wrap. But I was going to send a couple of them to a couple famous people. Hope that they learn to. Except I call them the Double Blazes Award. I've picked a couple celebrities that have done the double blazes. You know, this is what it's all about. It's a safe way to say it instead of the bird, just just double blazes. And I got the eye from Lord of the Rings. And I put another burning skull head on the Burning Man. But I made my own figures on there instead of. So, and then I got the burning the candle at both ends. So what Forrest said his father was doing, burning the candle at both ends. That meant there was a blaze at either end. There was a gypsy wagon at one end and a Ford Model A at the other end. But I have to go with the Ford Model A was the broken blaze that Jack was talking about. It was shot, had a bullet hole through it, just like the fuel tank on his F-100 that he crashed, and he dropped the tail hook, and the tail hook tore the back half off. The back half of the car was gone. The blaze was broken. It was shot. It was shot down. It was in the middle of the runway, out in the blazing sun, in the middle of the D meadow. He prayed for D's, and it all goes together, and it can't be denied. I mean, this had nothing to do with Superman. The only Superman thing is that he's bulletproof. But, you know, and the bullet was Forrest Fenn's thing. The car was important. his little toy car that him and his brother's pushing on the front or standing in front of it, and Forrest is sitting in the little toy pedal car. And he said I would dig up the entire landfill to find that car. And people didn't take that as a hint that we were looking for his car. The car, we were looking for the bullet. The 1930 Model A. Don't you know that car was a part of the family? Skippy's car, his father's car, Georgia O'Keeffe's car, Eric Sloan's car. They were all Model A's and Model B's. But he doesn't ever mention Model A in the book. He mentions Model A, Model B, Model C, Model D, Model E, and he was the big F, double F. Double F is double blazes. The FF is double blazes itself. Oh, fuck. Ow. Fuck. Oh, hang on. I gotta get that. Oh, fuck. Where'd it go? Oh, fuck. Damn it. I gotta find that. This emergency. I gotta find where the fuck that went. Burned my fucking fingers again. Just healed up from a couple other burns. There it is. Woohoo! I'm safe. Yeah. Thing turned itself on. I put my seat back. Oh. Oh. I gotta move the bucket back to put the seat back. There. Oh. Now I gotta have my. Oh. I got this handy. I fucking burned my thumb. Man, I didn't expect that. Thing turned itself on. I gotta get rid of those ones. They're not safe. uh, Ooh. Let me see, where did I get it? Yeah, I got thumb right there. Look, it even turned dark a little bit. You get that finger right there. Tip. Ooh. There's my thumb and this like that's how I got it. Between them two. But this is my stuff I made for neuropathy, for nerve pain, because it has essential oils in it and stuff like lavender and rosemary and things that help heal, that are good for the nerves and stuff. Ooh, but well, I didn't expect to do that, especially not live. Woohoo! Threw it on the ground. And then once I dropped, I picked it up and I dropped it on the floor. And then I had to get the chair out of the way to get under the desk to go after where it went. Oh. But, and this has that stuff that Street likes, lidocaine. It has lidocaine in it. So that's what's in Oragel. But it's good for burns. And actually, neuropathy is a lot like having a blister burn. So it's like my finger's been feeling like that anyhow. But I just do this stuff all over my hands to because it's for my neuropathy. It's in my fingers, my feet. And it's easy to put on the feet, but once you put it on the hand, because that has aloe, it's mostly aloe and has lidocaine and rosemary and lang lang and eucalyptus and geranium, and so it smells like a flower garden. Oh boy, that burn! The fuck thing. Yeah, those ones, if they can turn on and not know that they've been on for. That's one thing with the soldering iron ones. I took it over there and I poured water. I let on the water spigot, cool that thing off, because it was hot. It'll melt silver. So it's made for melting silver solder. There you can see the blister. There's the blister. Ow. It's going to be a big blister. I'm going to get one on this finger too. I feel it. This one missed. I missed this. I missed my pointer finger, but I got my thumb and that finger. That's how I picked it up. Yeah. Just like if you're writing. Burn, burn, burn. See, this hand just healed. You can still see where the blister's healing here. That was from cooking. I'm too old for this stuff. Oh, I need the vape thing that you can't get your fingers near anything hot. Don't touch. Yeah. So yeah, I got the other chairs laying on the other chair. It was sitting on the bucket next to me here, and it's just laying on the floor because I had to move that chair to move this chair to get under the desk. Oh, that's smarts, man. That's smarts. No, that's dumbs. No smarts. See, even smart people fuck up occasionally. There's always you know you're always fighting the forces of evil. The devil's always trying to get you one way or another, even if it's just burning your fingertips. Oh, with the devil's fire. Okay, I'll stick with this one. This one only works when you're pushing the button. That one, that's the problem with that one. It works when you're not pushing the button. I might be able to switch the switch. So it is a type that, yeah. Sting, sting, sting. It's going to be stinging for 2 weeks. I know it because that's what these did. But I can put more coolness on them. Should just have a pan of water to put my hand in. Damn. I've been burned many times. When I was 4 years old, I had all the skin off my back burned off in the shower with my brother. I thought it was too hot, and so I turned the cold off. Not knowing I had turned the wrong knob the wrong way. Or maybe the plumber had it wired plumbed backward. The house was built in 1892. And right now, where that happened is under an overpass. We lived under an overpass at Lawrence Expressway and the railroad, on the east side of the railroad and Lawrence Expressway, on the northeast corner, under the hill, basically in the first lanes of the southbound third lane. And we lived right across the street from the Modez factory. One time my little brother, I was 4. My little brother had to be like, he couldn't have been more than 1. If I was 4, he was 1. And he was out at the street throwing rocks at the cars. 1 year old. The police come chasing him up the driveway. Maybe it was my other brother who would have been 3. But we had its driveway that was lined with 100-foot palm trees. There was like 8 on each side of the driveway out to Lawrence Expressway, or Lawrence Station Road was what it was then. Lawrence Expressway was the road they put in after they built the overpass, was for Lawrence Expressway. It wasn't an expressway. There was a railroad crossing and all that. But yeah, it was 15 acres. And then we had a 15-acre walnut orchard, and they piled up all the walnut trees into piles and burned them all. They tore down our barn and our swimming pool and our nice 2-story Edison type Victorian house. Tore it all down, burned it all. And I got the doorbell off of that house on my RV. That's my doorbell on my RV. If I won't leave the RV without taking the doorbell with me. That's what I should do. When I'm buried, I'll have the doorbell put in the casket with a tube and a string going to the doorbell that somebody can ring the bell. I'll put the bell on the back of the tombstone. Oh, yeah, that aloe takes a long time to dry if you ever put aloe on, but it does after about 10 minutes you start feeling the effects and the numbing and stuff, and you can still feel it though. It burns. And after my whole back healed up, I was burned from my neck down past my ass. All the skin came off in one sheet, my mother said. You know, all my whole back, my entire back, all the skin burned off, come off in one sheet in the bathtub. And after that healed, because I had a FISA hex bath every day and stuff, and I had to sleep laying on my stomach with just a sheet on me and stuff, and I have no scars from it. But after that healed, I stepped on a hot soldering iron that my uncle had in the driveway. Yeah. Woo. Ah, what we got? Worth the cold. 1024. What we go? 9. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't see the light on that thing, and it wasn't glowing red or nothing, you know. Um, the thing needs a freaking leather case around it, basically, that you don't have hot metal. A whisker in my mouth. Nah. But yeah, that's enough. A little drama, little 911. I was like, I had to find that because if I didn't, you know, who knows, it could start a fire or something. So I couldn't stop trying to find that. I didn't have time to take out to stop the stream. So you got to see, yes, what happens when you drop a hot vape pen. You got to find it right now. Yeah, 10 now, huh? Who else is in chat? At least I know who Geoduck is now. I'm a duck. I went to the University of Oregon. We were the Ducks. We played Notre Dame in the playoffs. Oh, oh yeah, you can see that one on that finger. Let's see, which one is it? That finger. Yeah, you see the blister part. Yeah, little long oval on the edge there. Yep. Ow. And then this one's the white area and the black. The white and the black. The black is bacon. Sizzle, sizzle. But it could be to heal the nerves in my fingers. I needed to send some serious signals to the brain to send the repair. And this hand needed a little more repair. This one had plenty because I burned 4 fingers. And really, the neuropathy's better on this hand than before I burned it. So maybe that does. I don't know. Oh, I took a handful of vitamins for the stuff too. Take lots of vitamin B, all the B's, B1, B6, and B12, B17, I still got to do my B12 for this month. I do it about the first of the month, and it's about that time. God, that was hot. Frickin' thing. It's got plastic melted onto it now. Look at that shit. Melted that foam on there. It's got fur. Oh, look, that looks like. Oh, look kind of like, looked like blood on it when it was melted on there. Almost. That was hot. Well, that little wire's welded on there for sure now. Keep that button visible so I can see it glow. Whoo. Oh. That stings. Okay. That's taking too much of my attention. I'm gonna go make some more funny AI things. You know, that thing about the guy lost in thought. I just put a sentence in. Introduce me to a man with his head stuck in his ass, claiming to be lost in thought. That was all I asked it to do when I got that nice little thing from it. That was funny as shit. 10/24, October of 24. It's worth the cold. Get that Dr. Pepper and 10/24. Let it chill for a while. Adios.